It's Madden NFL 23, where division rivals will clash in the AFC South. It's the Tennessee Titans and the Houston Texans, and it comes your way next.
From the stadium that hosted Super Bowl 51 back in 2017, we are inside NRG Stadium in Houston. Today, it's a good matchup in the AFC South between the Tennessee Titans and the Houston Texans. And a welcome in, everybody, with Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin, and Charles, so much gets made about offensive comparisons. Here's a matchup where the defenses may just take center stage.
Yeah, we're usually talking about guys scoring touchdowns. How about the guys who prevent them and change the momentum of the game when they take the ball away? I love those ball hawks in the secondary. People after my own heart.
And we are underway from Houston. And no run back on the opening kickoff. It'll come out to the 25. Here come the Titans for their first possession on offense, and leading them out in his fourth season with the team, 10th overall in the NFL, Ryan Tannehill.
There were a few eyebrows raised when Tennessee took Malik Willis in the third round this year, but rest assured, Ryan Tannehill is still the man in Tennessee after leading the Titans to the top seed in the AFC last season. His 12 wins were the most he's posted in 9 seasons as an NFL starter, and he's only the third quarterback to lead the Titans to 3 playoff appearances in the NFL, joining Steve McNair and Warren Moon.
Tannehill to the air to start out. Being chased out left. And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete.
The defender certainly didn't forget about him leaking out of the backfield. There was a guy ready and waiting to pick him up in coverage, and that throw had no shot.
An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25. Tannehill. Flush to his right, and he'll slide to a halt here, still a little shy of the first down marker. They'll wind up with positive yardage. It's a gain of 3, but now it's 3rd down.
That's an early scramble to be viewed positively by either side. From the offensive point of view, it begins to establish it as a possibility to keep it on certain plays. And defensively, they avoided giving up a huge play in one of their first tests in containing a quarterback on the run.
And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. 13 yards is the pickup for Tennessee and a first down.
Well, that certainly has to feel good. It's not all the time that the play caller should get all the credit. Sometimes I think in the huddle, the quarterback just says, hey, who's going to make the play for me? I just need something right here. And the end result there, nice first down. Drive keeps moving.
Let's go get it now.
On first down, Tannehill. That's complete to Westbrook-Ikhine. And he'll be brought down on the other side of midfield at the 43. So a 1st and 10 now in Houston territory at the 43. On the ground, this is Derrick Henry. He'll get this up to the 34, and a good lane opening up right away for him. 9 yards is the pickup there, and they'll have a 2nd and 1.
A nice run here early on. It doesn't take a great play caller to realize you want to establish a guy of his caliber with runs like this early because they'll pay dividends as the game progresses.
The previous run, good for 9. Here's 2nd and a yard. Off the option, here's Henry. And he'll get this to the 22. So they began the play at the 11, and it's a gain of 11. 1st down. Couple of nice carries back-to-back here, establishing the ground game a bit.
Yeah, these aren't bare-bones runs now. I mean, they're getting substantial yardage, the kind of yards you're looking for, right? Let's go ahead and use a cliche. Stay ahead of the change, right? 5 or more yards each time. That's what you're looking for in setting a tone and getting your offensive line going.
Good sign on the opening drive. A solid run by Derrick Henry, and here's another 1st and 10. Here's a handoff out of the gun. 5 yards is the tally on 1st down. That brings up 2nd and 5.
That's a strong pickup right there on 1st down, and as this drive goes on, we're seeing an offensive line and running game imposing its will.
2nd down at 5. A toss right to Henry. And he's eaten up at the line of scrimmage. Might have gotten a yard down to 16.
I know the speed is the hallmark of today's NFL game, but the key to good rushing defense is still having your linebackers set the edge.
This will be play number 9 of the drive here as they need 4 yards on 3rd down. From the gun, here's Tannehill. And this is going to be incomplete.
Well, he certainly didn't like what he saw all from the coverage on his primary reads, and he didn't even have any luck trying to get back to his safety valve. Give defensive credit. Coverage was in lockdown mode everywhere.
Tannehill to the sideline. Randy Bullock out now for the Tennessee field goal. From the right hash, this from 33. Bullock's kick is good. And the Titans hit the scoreboard first. It's 3-0. Even though they didn't find the end zone, they have to be pretty pleased with how they moved the ball on the ground because we know that that was one of their big goals in this game. And that really goes through the entire offense because when you're running the ball effectively, just about everyone's involved. It's not just the guy carrying the football. It's everyone blocking for him, both inside and on the perimeter. After the field goal now, it's Bullock to kick it away. And Smith not going to bring it out, so it's a touchback. As the Texans offense runs out, we get a peek at the man under center. Second-year quarterback Davis Mills out of Stanford.
I think when we really analyze the 2021 NFL season, Houston Texans quarterback Davis Mills, he deserves a lot more credit than he got for leading a bad team last season. Circumstances led the third-round rookie to being thrown in as the team starter, and he really came on after some early struggles. 4 300-yard games from him. He led Houston to a big upset of the Chargers to help keep L.A. out of the playoffs.
First and 10 now for Mills and the Texans at their own 25-yard line. A little jet sweep to start the drive. Oh, he's got a little daylight. And he has a big gain inside the 40 before being dropped. A gain of 37. Well, we've said it many times, Charles, when you have weapons like this at the wide receiver position, just get them the football any way that you can, and here it's in the run game.
And that was an example of catching a team off guard because it really paid off for them. They weren't ready for that at all. I know they weren't ready to try and catch him because once he hit full stride, that was going to turn into a big play, and it did.
So how about that for a chain mover? They're all the way down inside the 40 now for 1st and 10. First run of the game here for Dameon Pierce. And he'll be brought down just outside of the 30. 7 yards on the pickup there, and it'll leave him with a 2nd and 3.
That's a really nice job by them picking up the run blitz and detecting it and blocking it and turning it into a nice run. And a lot of times you think if you blitz a running play, you're going to smother it. But a lot of the blitzers, they come in a little bit high. They don't have great leverage, and they're easily blocked and turned to the side.
And they're going to get this down to about the 17-yard line here.
I think that's a big pickup for a first down because when you run a drag route against zone, you're sometimes asking for trouble because you might run into a defender.
Yeah, well, there they ran into a first down. Executed it to perfection. So from the 17 now, here's a 1st and 10. Inside the red zone here, they'll look to throw. He's got his tight end over the middle, O.J. Howard. And he'll get 7 yards from the 17 to the 10 before he's taken down. Not a big window to throw. Coverage wasn't too bad there.
Yeah, they had him under wraps pretty well, but somehow able to muscle his way open and catch the ball.
Facing a 2nd and 3, ball on the 10. On 2nd down, here's Pierce. And this won't be enough to pick up the first. A gain of 2, 3rd and 1. Pierce will try to pick it up. And they will touch him down, but not before he gets the first. Give him 2 on the play there. And the Texans are going to have a 1st and goal. A stop there on 3rd. They could have held him to 3 on this opening drive. Now they have to bow their necks on 1st and goal.
And if I'm looking at this from the offense's point of view, that's a big-time pickup right there. And I go right at him with another momentum play. I go quickly and attack them because right now they probably have their heads down a little bit since they didn't stop them on 3rd down.
They'll run here with Pierce. And he'll take this one in for a Texans touchdown. Dameon Pierce, a 6-yard touchdown run. And the Texans have answered that early field goal to take a first-quarter lead. First quarter, maybe too early to talk about statement drives, Charles, but that sure seemed like a statement drive right there.
Well, if we're going to talk about statement drives, I think what they're saying is we're going to establish the run. They gave it to him early and often on this drive, and he wound up taking it into the end zone.
Fairbairn good with the extra point, and that makes it a 7-3 lead. So the drive winds up going 75 yards in 7 plays. And it was all capped off by a run from the rookie, Dameon Pierce. So after the touchdown, here's Fairbairn now to kick it away. From a yard or 2 deep, here comes a return. Now a crease here as he's past the 30. And he's going to wind up bringing this one inside the 45-yard line.
Now that's the kind of return that warms the heart of a special teams coach. He'll be pushing us next time, Brandon, to make sure his guys are introduced in the starting lineups. These guys have such an influence on every game. The unsung heroes, remember, they have their own meetings, their own practice time, heck, their own spot on the bench in order to be ready to play each and every week.
A first down carry for Henry. And he's able to carve out about 6 there, down to the 37.
I know the toss play begins with the guy taking the snap and turning around and tossing it to the runner. But where the real intrigue is, can they seal the edge? Whether it's an offensive tackle or a tight end in the direction they want to run the football. If they do that, that's the result that you get, that type of a gain. If they don't, oftentimes it's not a very successful play.
And a quick throw here, that's complete. And they'll work this down inside the 30.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
Let's go now, let's go. Let's go do this thing, baby. Play it to us. Let's go get it now. It's what?
They had to settle for 3 last drive, hoping this second go-around ends in 6. In good possession, 1st and 10. Tannehill going to turn and give this to Henry. And a hard-working run here as he's got it inside the 20, down to the 17. 43 yards rushing for him now on just 6 carries to this point.
That's pretty much meat and potatoes right there, wasn't it? Just go right at them and let your big horse charge up the middle. Not too fancy there, was it?
Nothing fancy at all, challenging that defense. And on that go-around, the offense won the challenge.
Let's rock and roll.
So from the 17 now, here's a 1st and 10. Now Tannehill. To the sideline, and wow, what a catch there. He doesn't get a lot, but he was able to get the feet down complete. Just a gain of a couple there, and it'll be 2nd down.
Was that a receiver? Yeah, actually it was. It was a running back who was a receiver on the play. Ike's been spending time in the receiver drills getting his feet down.
Well, those guys out of the backfield, they got to be good, agile with their feet. He showed the agility there with a toe tap.
No doubt about it. It's like he'd run to ballet school. Got the toes down and stayed in bounds.
Just a couple on the ground there. That's going to bring up 3rd and about 6.
Brandon, we talk all the time about those hybrid players, guys who can do more than one thing. And I think if you're playing strong safety in the NFL today, you are a true hybrid. Part linebacker, part cover guy.
And coming up, sticking his nose in the mess there and making a nice play defensively. This is caught. And it's a Titans touchdown. Nick Westbrook-Akine from 13 yards out. And the Titans are once again back in front. A nice connection there, finding his target, and that'll put 6 up on the board.
Just like they drew it up in their playbook and reiterated it on the sidelines, right? Perfect route, a good throw, and the defense, they had no answer for that right there.
On for the point after is Randy Bullock. And it's through, and that makes the lead 10-7. A drive that time of 6 plays, and it ends with a Tennessee score. Now Bullock will send this one away after the touchdown. From his end zone, here's Tremon Smith. And no alley to be found. The coverage was solid, and he's dropped at the 18. So now we get set to see Houston for their second drive of the ball game. The football changing hands here, and as this offense takes the field, Charles, they'd be fine with more of the same on this upcoming drive. Last time out, they found the end zone for 6.
And they're certainly hoping for more of the same, but the game plan, I doubt it'll just be a carbon copy of the last drive, because I think this offense is ready to break out some new wrinkles and try some new things that might be hidden in their playbook. They want to use that confidence to its advantage while also keeping the defense from anticipating what's up next.
Mills throw here into the hands of Moore. And they're able to get this one across the 35. The drive starting play, a good one. Give him 19. And he went in right there from the slot for the completion.
I love how he runs his routes because it's all setting up your defender. Give him a little something one way, take it the other way. Head and shoulder fake. Sometimes you make one step to the outside, then break it inside. Really well run route.
One play has him to the 37 here for 1st and 10. A first down throw for Mills. And his throw's going to be incomplete.
Had the right idea there, trying to throw it to the sideline, but he led him just a little bit too much, trying to get it out to his receiver. Ends up falling to the ground, incomplete.
Let's go, baby.
Line of scrimmage, again the 37 as they line up 2nd and 10. Now Mills. To Pierce, they set up the screen. And he will lose yardage back to the 34-yard line. It'll be a loss of 2, maybe 3 on the play. And it'll be a 3rd and about 13.
Oh, partner, when you see a screen pass and the defensive tackle ends up making the play, you know that one wasn't sold well at all, because he should be upfield by the time you throw the pass. If not, you end up with big trouble, as we just saw right there.
A dime look defensively here for the Titans on 3rd. Mills to the air again. Looking deep downfield. He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked by Kevin Byard. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
And I think this is a situation where a quarterback coach in the sideline is going to talk to a signal caller and say, listen, it's 3rd and long and it's still early in the game. Let's not force things here. If we don't feel good about it, let's just check something down and punt the football.
Out come the Titans now. The offense coming back out here. Plenty of energy, ready to roll, looking to just add to what they have been doing after scoring a touchdown, Charles, their last time out.
And that's a great feeling to have on the sideline, partner, knowing you just won the battle against the opposing defense. And since they came off the field, I'll guarantee you all they want to do is get back out there because they know they have the upper hand on that defense right now.
Tannehill and the Titans come up now 1st and 10 at their own 15. He'll start with a give to Henry. And he'll take this one up over the 20 to the 21-yard line. 51 yards rushing for him as he's got the afternoon off to a great start.
Now, Brandon, that's the way you want to run the football. There should almost be quote bubbles above the offense right now. Bam, boom, biff. That's how they feel good about moving the football.
On 2nd down and 4. Tannehill, right side complete. That's Woods. And Tannehill finding Woods for the Titans' first down.
Robert Woods got to close out his 5-year tenure in Los Angeles as a Super Bowl champion. Remember, he began in the NFL with the Buffalo Bills. What a nice ending there out on the West Coast for a consistent receiver who was lost with injury 9 games into 2021. Now, on his next great adventure in Tennessee, where he can immediately form a nice duo with A.J. Brown. Good play from the man they call Bobby Trees.
Brought down in the play by the linebacker, Christian Harris.
Well, on every play call, you realize it's not going to go for a touchdown, so a lot of your calls are setting things up for maybe later in the game, trying to establish the inside run with toughness now, hopefully get to the perimeter later, and let's face it, you could do worse than a 4-yard run on 1st down.
He dumps it off for Henry. Call it a gain of a yard, and it brings up 3rd and 5 now. 10-7 our score after one right here on EA Sports. Second quarter now, Titans in possession of the football. The Titans on third down. They've been okay, 2 for 3 thus far. This will be 3rd and 5. That's caught by Hollister. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. A gain of 22.
That's a play that will likely be forgotten when you talk about big moments in this game. But plays like this are critical to keep drives going. And if points result, we'll call this play significant.
So a 1st and 10 now in Houston territory at the 46. Tannehill. It's caught over the middle. Hooper. And they're going to work this down to about the 32-yard line.
Good strong throw and catch right there. And so far in this game, the alleys have been open for them to get completions, and they're taking advantage of it.
From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. Throwing again is Tannehill. Caught by Woods. And they're going to move it down to inside the 25.
I always laugh when people say, what's the toughest route to defend? And I'm like, any of them, especially if it's a good receiver. That makes things very difficult. But when you're running a drag route, something short, shallow, going through defenders, using guys almost as screens in order to get open, that makes things tough for guys trying to get to the football.
Tenth carry now for Derrick Henry. And he's able to get it to the edge of the red zone at the 20-yard line. 4 yards the pickup, 1st down.
But we always talk about good down and distance, allowing offenses to expand their playbook. Well, 2nd and 2, that means your playbook's wide open. You can run just about anything. But a lot of times, the play caller, he just looks down at his sheet, sees the short yardage runs, and goes to one of those.
They keep it with Henry on 1st down. Just a yard on the 1st down carry, so it's 2nd and 9.
And the big fella stuffed that one up in a big way. I think doubling him has to be a priority because you can't move up to the next level if you don't take care of him first.
The run only got a yard. Here's 2nd and 9. To throw is Tannehill. Got a man, and he hits him in stride. And the Titans are going to be set up with a 1st and goal coming up as they get him down at the 6-yard line.
Let's go, baby. Get something together. Let's go. Here we go. Let's get some love.
Now Tannehill. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. Only a yard in the completion. It's 2nd and goal. Now it's Tannehill. This will go to Henry out wide. And he'll be brought down right on the edge of the goal line at about the 1-yard line. A touchdown saving tackle there. Now it's 3rd and goal.
That might feel like a little bit of a lost opportunity there for the offense because the defense brought pressure that time. And sometimes against that, you can get out to your running back, and it could turn into a big gain downfield. But what a nice job they did getting to him quickly and holding him to a short gain.
Under pressure now, and he's going to go down. Sacked back around the 8. Jalen Petrie picking up the sack on a safety blitz. They dialed up a 3rd-and-1 blitz defensively. It worked.
Yeah, and a lot of people would think, hey, they thought pass and they guessed right. In a lot of cases, you bring the blitz just to mess up the blocking on a running play. Instead, in this situation, the run wasn't there. They just followed everything right back to the quarterback.
Tannehill to the sideline. Randy Bullock out now for the Tennessee field goal. From the right hash, and this one just a chippy. Bullock's kick is good, and the lead stretches to 6 here. It's 13-7. Well, they already had the early lead, and they get the interception, Charles, and now they add 3 more with the field goal.
Yeah, they're in control of how this game is playing out so far. You mentioned the early lead. Now they're expanding on it, getting plays on both sides of the ball. A winning recipe if they can keep this up.
After the field goal now, it's Bullock to kick it away. Out of the end zone comes Smith. And he's able to get this across the 20, but not by much, as he's marked out officially at the 21. Out comes the Houston offense as they get set to take over here. As the offense comes out here, Charles, maybe perhaps a bit more of a focus on the run game for this drive after tossing an interception on the previous one?
I think that's a good way to look at it and a good way to think about it, but maybe they get to it in a little bit different way, because after you throw an interception, you want to make sure you keep your quarterback's confidence high. So maybe give him a couple easy throws that he can complete and then get to the running game and try and get things settled down.
Yeah, and still in the first half here, a long way to go. And now a throw on first down there, but it's incomplete.
From the snap, he certainly looked like he knew where he wanted to go with the ball, but surprise, that guy was covered. So that took his attention elsewhere to no avail.
From the 21, it's 2nd and 10. They go play action. Mills. And he bats it away, and it falls down incomplete.
This defense has passed its first 2 tests by forcing back-to-back incompletions. They know there's probably another throw coming on 3rd down. Let's see if they decide to force the issue by sending people on a blitz.
Now they face a 3rd and 10 after back-to-back incompletions. From the gun, here's Mills. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. And they're set up in a golden position here right around the 10-yard line. So the coach putting the blitz on, and remember, that coach, former defender in this league. He loves this.
Yeah, they love to see it happen because I think they just have that flashback about when they were playing, right? That's what we were taught. That's what we did. And they've used that same impact with their own teams and do the same type of teaching.
Derrick Henry trots back out there and gets ready to go. And he's well on his way to a 100-yard game. He's already more than halfway there. We're only in the 2nd quarter.
And what I've always loved about running backs is they'll tell you, I had no idea how many yards I had.
Right.
Those guys have an innate sense of where they are in a ball game and how many yards they've accumulated, because you know they're always working towards 100.
He's been working well towards 100 here. And running room hard to come by here. He gets it down to the 8. It's a gain of a couple, and it'll be 2nd and goal. Defensively, pretty good start there with their backs against the wall.
That's a win for the stop troops right there. And if I'm them, I get a little bolder now. They won the first battle. Keep coming after them. Put the pressure on them.
They'll give Henry another shot. And he's going to bull his way down to about the 1-yard line. 69 yards rushing for him, as he has been tough to stop here in this first half. So now things get interesting on 3rd and goal from the 1.
This almost becomes a Darwinian call, doesn't it? Almost survival of the fittest here. I know we can go all cliche. I'll go ahead and do it. Who wants it more here? Who has a better leverage at the line of scrimmage? Let's go and see what happens.
Got a man, and it's taken in for a Titans touchdown. Cody Hollister from a yard out. And they are able to add on on to their advantage. Well, it was 3rd and 1. I was expecting run. So much for that. They pass it, they score it.
That had the feel of the head coach telling the offensive coordinator, you've got 4 downs here. We're going to go for it on 4th down unless there's a disaster on 3rd. Go ahead and take a shot if you want to. And he gratefully accepted the opportunity and did exactly that. If they didn't get it there, that had the feel that they would come back and try it on 4th down.
Bullock good on the extra point. And the lead now stands at 13. Now Bullock will send this one away after the touchdown. Fielded just outside the goal line. And he'll go down as this drive will start at the 25-yard line. And now out comes Houston. And they've sort of lost their way, partner. How do they recalibrate and get this proverbial train back on track?
Well, this is where leadership really comes into play. How's the head coach handling it? The offensive coordinator? Sometimes they just make a joke. All right, guys, had your fun? All right.
Throw it out the window.
Yeah, let's get back on track here. And sometimes that'll work just fine.
I guess it's time now to lean on that leadership. Mills now looks to throw on 1st down. And he's got Dorsett complete. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. That's good for 28 yards. A great job pulling that one in from a guy, as we know, who can really blaze. He's got a lot of speed.
And that speed can work for him so many different ways. Sometimes he just takes off and goes and just runs past people. Sometimes you get people to back off so far that you can catch everything underneath. But still, at some point in the game, you probably have to make some contested catches, right? Sometimes you have to go up and beat a defender for the football. He has that in his arsenal as well.
Showed it right there. 1st and 10, it's Pierce. And he'll get this down only to about the 46. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9.
Now that's the type of play that'll fire up a defense. Hold them to 1 yard on a 1st down run. It'll be interesting to see if the offense decides to press the run at all, or if they'll abandon it now after gaining only 1 on that play.
On 2nd and 9, Mills. That's complete to Tyler Johnson. And he is out of bounds, but not before he's inside the 30. First time these two have hooked up this afternoon, and it's a 1st down. Pierce takes it straight ahead. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. Another nice gain. That's now 30 yards between those last 2 plays.
We use the word relentless a lot with guys who are aggressive on the field. In this case, it really fits, doesn't it? How about his ability to break tackles and his feet never stop moving?
So from the 17 now, here's a 1st and 10. 1st down, they go right back to Pierce. He will push his way down to about the 14. Roger McCreary there to bring him down defensively.
But that call makes sense because they've been throwing it well on this drive, and once again they show passing formation, showing the shotgun. Then they ran out of it. That was a nice play by them defensively, though, to hold it to a short gain.
The last run got a couple. Here's 2nd and 8. On the jet sweep, here comes more. And this play goes nowhere. Losing yardage back to the 15. A yard in the wrong direction makes third down tougher. Third down and 9.
Well, as a wideout, when you take that handoff and you're coming around the edge, you're expecting to see nothing but empty space in front of you. But if not...
Well, things can go south in a hurry, and that's exactly what we saw on that play with a loss. Now play number 7 of this drive, but it's a tough 3rd and 9. Mills to throw it. Looking left side, and he's got him in. That's Pierce. And the Texans are going to have 1st and goal as they try to finish off this drive with 6 points.
And this is an offense in need of getting a few good things to happen. Here's one right here. They've had their share of struggles in key moments, but that's a nice throw. A nice work after the throw, and they're set up now with a 1st and goal.
First and goal, and they got to be thinking a chance to get right back into this football game. Here's Pierce. He is not going anywhere. He'll be hit and dropped for no gain at the 2-yard line. Nothing at all on that one. It'll be 2nd down.
This is a critical sequence here for this offense. Things really haven't gone their way so far. This could be their chance to get back into it, but they've got to find a way to punch this ball in.
2 of their 3 red zone trips so far they've come up empty on. They'll look to reverse that trend on 2nd and goal. Titus Howard, right tackle, the man flag for that one. Things made a little more difficult after the false start as they try again on 2nd and goal. Mills. He's got it. Touchdown, Texans. Brevin Jordan. A 7-yard touchdown grab. And the Texans have cut it back within a score.
The tight end position has always been dangerous, especially in the red zone, short field. But now even more so because these tight ends aren't necessarily the tight ends of old. They're the rocked-up wide receivers who have a little bit more speed. Way harder to cover than before.
Extra point by Fairbairn, up and good. And the lead will shrink to 6. So that drive, 80 yards, 9 plays. And the result, a Houston touchdown. So after the touchdown, here's Fairbairn now to kick it away. And this will not be returned. It'll come out to the 25. Here's Tennessee ready to begin this drive offensively. And right now, we've got a little bit of an offensive masterpiece going on both sides, moving the football, scoring points. It's almost like somebody put the defense on rookie mode in this one. I mean, we haven't even left the first half, Charles, and we're certainly on pace for a shootout.
An excellent start for both offenses. The fans have to be enjoying this to seeing all these points go up on the board. As a former defender, you know I'm not enjoying this at all. But right now, both these teams just trading haymakers. Let's see if anyone slips up first. Can anyone counter with a nice little jab and get things going in their direction?
And he's going to be dropped following a pickup of 7 past the 30 to the 32. 2 minutes remaining in this first half of football. A reminder coming up in a couple of minutes' time. We'll pay a visit to Jonathan Coachman, the coach in our EA Sports studios. They'll have a look back at the next-gen stats from this first half of action. Tannehill, and he wisely will throw that one away.
Well, you most certainly don't want to go 3 and out here and give the football right back because your friend, Old Momentum, he's wondering if he should change sidelines about right now. And if you don't convert here, guess what? He's going to make the trek to the opposite side, and all of a sudden, you've got a battle on your hands.
Tannehill on third down. As this complete to Woods. And he gets this up across the 35 before he's out of bounds. It's a pickup of 6 and good enough to move the chains.
Now that's absolutely frustrating for a defender. Had a chance to get him on the ground before he got to the sideline, but what great vision and understanding where he is on the field as he headed for the marker and picked up the first down.
So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. Tannehill throwing again. Incomplete, but a penalty flag is down in the backfield. Let's get the call. So that one a hold right guard.
And you understand why offensive and defensive linemen probably go to martial arts schools and work on their hands so often, because that can be the make or break difference on a play. This time he had to grab a jersey in order to make the play happen. Got caught for the penalty.
And caught by Henry. And he'll be taken down, but not before they reach the 50. A good pickup there, a 22.
Boy, a lot of moving parts on this play, but what a nice design to leak the running back out to the left and send him down the field. And a good job spotting him and hitting him for a big play.
From the 50, it's Tannehill. They set up the screen for Henry. And he'll be tackled on the other side of midfield at the 46-yard line.
Good reactions there defensively. That screen was a little slow in developing, and they shut that one down with little gain.
The Titans going to use the first of their timeouts, as they'll stop it with just over a minute to go before halftime. Again, Tannehill. And right side, Henry's got it. Now another timeout called for by the offense, as the stoppage will come with a little under a minute to go in this first half. Trying to keep the drive going here. This is play number 7 on 3rd and 2. They'll try to run for the first with Henry. And they needed 2. They could only get 1. 4th down.
Absolutely love the effort there. The ability to flow from his inside spot and stop that one at the line of scrimmage. Nice linebacker play.
So coming on now is the field goal unit. They're going to try for 3, and he'll need all the leg he's got here. So this will be spotted on the midfield logo. It's a 58-yard attempt. And this one will not get there. It's off to the left anyway. It's no good, and this will stay a 1-score game as the lead will hold at 6.
Well, Brandon, anything beyond 50, you start rolling the dice a bit. And once you get up around 57, 58 yards, the chances of making it go down dramatically. And sure enough, this one winds up no good.
The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive. And maybe a chance for a quick completion and then a long field goal try. We'll see. A pretty good looking run there on 1st down. That'll go for 9 yards, just short of the line to gain. And with just 1 second remaining in the first half, they'll call the timeout. So with 1 second left in the half, on is the field goal unit. They spot it on the midfield stripe, so it is a 60-yard attempt here. And he put enough leg into it, but it's well off to the right and no good. So we have reached halftime in what's a 6-point game at the break. As we send you on over to Orlando for Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Take it away, Coach.
Okay, Brandon, thanks very much, and welcome in everyone to our downtown Orlando studios in this EA Sports Halftime Report. First, though, let's run through the next-gen stats for the Titans in that first half. And their passing game has been the reason why they lead thus far. They've had great success moving the ball through 2 quarters of play. Meanwhile, for the Texans, we check on their numbers on the ground in the first half, as they know they'll need to be better to overcome this halftime deficit.
Okay, Coach, yeah, adjustments likely going to play a big role in this third quarter in what's been a tight contest so far. The Texans down on the scoreboard, but they do get the first crack here as we are back underway in the second half. Taken at the goal line. And beyond the 20, but not by much. In fact, just a yard pass there to the 21. And the Texans getting ready to go here to begin the third quarter. Well, Charles, in that first half, we saw a fair amount of offense on both sides of the football, and now the team trailing here will start with it in the third quarter.
And we both know this coach pretty darn well, don't we? Because his game planning is always on point. And now that he's getting the ball to start the second half, how about all the offense that you already referenced in the first half? He'll put that all together and come out with something really strong, I believe, to get things going here in the third quarter.
Mills on first down. And the throw left sideline here is caught, but they'll rule it incomplete. Couldn't keep his feet in. Second down.
Not sure what happened there, but he just didn't get the right read on the coverage that time. Pass wasn't where it needed to be, and that'll send them back to the drawing board.
So after the incompletion, 2nd and 10 from the 22. A run for Pierce out of the gun. And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. Officially nothing on that one, no gain, so they're left with still 10 to go on third down. Looked like he was trying to bounce it outside, but no success.
Yeah, sometimes you got to just figure out where you're going to go, and sometimes you just have to take it to another spot. In trying to get it outside, the defensive pursuit was there and just ran him down.
Going for it with Pierce. And he'll be stopped here well short of the first down at the 24-yard line.
We often talk of situational football. Let's just call it team football. The defense did their job, got off the field, brought up a punting situation, so they're turning the ball back over to their offense. You think those guys will get along very well right now? Of course they will. Defense helped the offense. Now it's their turn to take it downfield.
Here's Cameron Johnston now. And surprisingly, this is the first punt of the game for either team. It'll be a 51-yard punt that time, and it'll be Titan football. Now we take a glance at the offense as they work their way back out for their first possession of the second half.
Let's go, baby. Once again, let's go.
Tannehill and the Titans come up now 1st and 10 at their own 26. They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And he'll have it past midfield almost to the 40 before being taken down. The catch and run going to wind up netting him 33 yards.
Brandon, that was a nice route that time. Lined him up on the right, and worked his way all the way across the formation. One of the toughest routes to cover because you keep waiting for the ball to be thrown and for him to break something off. He goes all the way across the field, right to left for a big play.
Let's go. It's showtime, baby.
So the big play gets him across midfield now for 1st and 10. Here's Tannehill. And that's caught left side. It's Woods. And he's going to be marked down just inside the 35. Working with a 2nd and 3. Tannehill now to throw. Looking for Woods again, and he finds him. And he's going to be taken down with another 1st down as the stop's made at the Texans' 25-yard line. It's a 10-yard pickup, and that's enough to move the chains. Running from the gun with Henry. And they'll get this down to the 10. 85 yards for him on the ground now as he has been terrific here this afternoon.
And that's the big fella's MO right there. Running through tackles, keeping the sticks moving forward. This defense, if you don't bring 11 guys to the ball to try and get him on the ground, he's going to keep making runs like that. I feel the press box shaking every time he touches the rock.
Now a 1st down throw, Tannehill. And it's caught in the end zone. Touchdown, Tennessee. 3 touchdown passes now for Ryan Tannehill as his guys are able to extend their lead. Well, we know he can run the ball. There he shows he has the ability to do a little bit more.
That's what you call a complete player. A guy who can run it, catch it, probably can protect the passer when necessary, but his skills are best used when you get the ball in his hands.
And that's the thing. When you've got an athlete like that, you want to get the ball to him in multiple ways, right?
Without a doubt, because he often creates mismatches about who can cover him, whether he's coming out of the backfield or even lining up like a receiver. I don't know about you, but I can't wait for a few years of 2-point tries and see what the data tells us, because a lot of teams want to throw the ball in this situation, this time unsuccessfully. I just wonder if maybe running the ball might be the way to go.
With it moved up from the 3 to the 2, you would think maybe a few more attempts at running.
I think stats over time may bear out that running the ball will at least be the equal of throwing it in that situation.
Now Bullock will send this one away after the touchdown. And Smith chooses not to return it, and they'll bring it out to the 25. And here comes the Texans now. Defense got the better of them last series, forcing a punt. See if they make a few changes in the game plan here and try to get points out of this drive. 1st and 10. First and 10 now for Mills and the Texans at their 25-yard line. A 1st down throw for Mills. He gets it left side to Johnson. And he's going to be dropped following a pickup of 7 past the 30 to the 32.
Timing is so important on a route like this because he's going to line up out right, then cut straight across the field. I think the ball might have come out a count or two too late, because by the time he was able to secure it, not much of a chance to turn it upfield.
Play action now. Mills. He's going to get this one out to his fullback. And this won't be enough to pick up the first. A gain of 2, 3rd and 1.
I wouldn't be surprised to see the next step in utilizing this position is to actually utilize more of a scat back in this spot. Because we saw the catch there, right? He made it, but he's a bigger, stronger guy, maybe not quite as elusive as maybe someone else you would put there.
Yeah, didn't get the big yardage there you might out of a smaller back. Throw over the middle, caught by Jordan. And he is going to have a Texans first down as they're able to convert by plenty there on 3rd and 1.
This is a nice job of just taking what the defense is going to give you on 3rd down. You're not looking for a big play downfield. You just want to find something that can get you past the marker. They found it and were able to keep the drive moving.
Give to Pierce now on the option. And some good acceleration there as he's across midfield to the 48-yard line. That's good for a Texan first down, a 12-yard pickup. The running game fully in sync, 1-11 on that play.
And sometimes it comes from the offensive coordinator, understanding what he thinks the defense is going to do and dialing up the perfect play. Sometimes the quarterback, though, can look at the defense, realize he needs to change it to a run, and that gets it done in a big way as well.
So operating from Tennessee territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 48-yard line. Now Mills. That would almost intercepted, but it's incomplete. Not a good throw there, and it'll be 2nd down.
Well, they've been back on their heels a little bit here in this drive, but a chance to exhale just a little bit there with incompletion on 1st down. Now they have to gear up, try and get 2 more stops, and escape this drive.
Throwing again on 2nd and 10. Mills. That's underneath to Pierce. And he'll be brought down on the other side of midfield at the 43. This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. Here's Mills. Delivers another one to Pierce. And he is going to have a Texans first down. They needed 5 there on 3rd down. He winds up getting 7.
As an unbiased observer, I think it would have been interesting to see what they would have done if they hadn't gotten the first down there. But since they did, I guess the point is moot.
Yeah, they're right there in that middle ground, field goal range, punt, go for it. But as you said, they picked it up. So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. Throwing, Mills. He's got his tight end over the middle, O.J. Howard. And he'll be taken down at about the 22-yard line.
He's certainly done a nice job spreading the field on this drive, and here he finds his big tight end for good yardage. And that's what you have to do. Keep defenses guessing about where you're going to go with the football.
Option play, and it's a handoff to Pierce. And he'll manage to pick up about 4. It's 2nd down.
Brandon, all things considered, they have to feel pretty good about getting that type of a gain, considering the blitz that they just had against them.
6 yards left on 2nd down. A handoff here to Ogunbowale. He'll be taken down well behind the line, and I think he might have just given those 4 yards right back. It's a loss of 4. Now 3rd down.
Count me as a little bit surprised by what we just saw there, because this has been a pretty long drive, and normally you think that wears down a defense. In this case, looked like the offensive line let them down a little bit.
They allowed the penetration and the ability to stuff them for a loss. Got an extra defensive back out there for the Titans now here for 3rd down. To throw, Mills. And a big loss here as he's taken down. Multiple defenders getting to him there for a huge loss.
Okay, I'm not sure you could actually draw up a better pass rush than that one right there. Nowhere to go outside. He had to keep backing up and backing up and backing up. Eventually dropped for a huge loss.
So now on comes the field goal unit, and wow, this is no ordinary try here. This from 54 yards away. And that is no good. And that will keep this a 12-point game. Down here in the third quarter, obviously that's one they could have used.
Yeah, and one of my favorite special teams coaches in the NFL told me what separates the kickers in the NFL versus the ones who are not is not the misses. It's the second miss in a row. Best kickers in the league, they don't miss 2 in a row. He's got to get his head back together in case he gets another shot.
Here comes Ryan Tannehill now, leading his offense back out there. He's played well. Good first half. He's continued that here in the third quarter. But my question, when you're a head coach, what do you look at stat line-wise for your coach? Do you go right to turnovers?
You really do. As much as coaches don't want to talk about that, that's where it starts. When I played in college, our first rule for every game, the team making the fewest mistakes will win. And that's kind of how they judge you. Do you take care of the ball, not turn it over, keep it in the proper hands, and give your team a chance to win?
Well, that's what he's done here in this one so far.
Let's go, man.
Henry will get it. He's been busy today. And he'll take it down shy of the 45 at the 46. And give him about 4 on the play, but he's marked short, so it'll be third and about the length of the football.
When you find that kind of yardage, you couldn't be more confident as a ball carrier. And guess what? You're going to go back and tell your offensive coordinator, I'd like to keep carrying it, thank you.
On third down, Henry. And he'll be taken down, but he does have first down yardage.
Most of their damage has been done through the air. I mean, they've rung the bell 3 times with passing touchdowns, but guess what? Ground game has not been neglected. Nice little burst right there.
On first down, Tannehill. Right side complete. That's Woods. And he'll be brought down inside the 40-yard line.
Let's go, man. Let's focus in on what we got to do. That's what we need. Here we go.
Second and 5. Henry up the middle. And he works it to the 30-yard line here, right at the 30. 9 yards to pick up there, and it's a first down.
Boy, where would these guys be without his performance on the ground? That puts him over 100 yards now for the afternoon, and I tell you, he seems to be getting stronger as the day goes along.
So first and 10 now from the 30. Again, it's Henry. It's a 6-yard pickup, and it gets him to 2nd and 4.
Well, you certainly have to give a little credit here because they're playing this game now at their pace. This is ball control football, sustained runs, taking their time, and making it work.
6 yards on that last play. Here's 2nd and 4. A 20th carry now for Derrick Henry. And he'll get it down this time to the 17. 7 yards there and a first down.
Looks to me like maybe there's a little attrition setting in with this drive, because when you see that type of a run, I get the feeling the defense getting a little bit tired.
And that's the last thing they need, especially when they look up at the scoreboard. And they're not going to get to the line to run another play. So we will switch ends as the third quarter has come to a close. We'll return with more after this. This is the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. A first down carry for Henry. And he'll get 4 there, down to about the 12-yard line. The recipe's pretty simple, I think, right? Is give your superstar the ball, continue to feed him.
Yeah, don't overthink this one, right? Make sure he's touching the football, but you're also counting on his intelligence in playing the game as well. If it's not there, don't force the run. Just make sure you hang on to the football and keep the clock ticking.
To throw on 2nd and 6, Tannehill. Looking in zone, but it's incomplete.
I see the surprise in your face there, partner. That is a rare incompletion from him. He's been on point this entire game.
He has percentage completion-wise way up, not that time. The offense on 3rd down, 6 conversions and 9 tries. They've done a great job of picking these up. This will be 3rd and 6. And he comes back with one complete. And the Titans are going to have 1st and goal as they try to finish off this drive with 6 points. He's been the go-to guy. They needed a big play there on 3rd down. Went his way. It worked out.
Doesn't matter whether they've scouted it or that they think he's going to get the ball. He has a knack for finding his way open and completing the connection.
A good chance now to put this game on ice. This is 1st and goal. Henry will score. Touchdown, Tennessee. This one now, Charles, you'd have to think all but over.
I would agree with that because this offensive line, they've been physical from the first snap of the game, and it's taken a toll on this defense. And it was never more evident than on that play right there. They continue to move the line of scrimmage forward, and they open up enough space there to get their guy into the end zone.
Here's Bullock now for the extra point. And that one makes this a 19-point game. So that one a long 11-play drive. And Derrick Henry able to finish it off with a touchdown run. Now Bullock will send this one away after the touchdown. Fielded just outside the goal line. And the tackle going to be made right there at the 25-yard line. Now Houston's offense taking over again. And the way their last drive ended, boy, it was frustrating. They had a pretty good drive going. It was sustained, and then it stalled out, Charles, and they missed the field goal and got nothing out of it.
Is that insult to injury? Because they had such a sustained drive, as you noted. So you know for the head coach, it almost felt like a little bit of failure to send out the field goal unit and then to not even see the ball go through the posts. What a bummer on that last drive for them. Got to pick themselves up from that one.
Mills now looks to throw on 1st down. He's going to float this one deep right side. It's caught inside the 25. And he'll be brought down at about the 23-yard line. Sometimes you just got to marvel at how these guys can throw the football. He gave that everything he had, and it was right on the money.
And that's how you start a drive, because you know they had this play in their back pocket, waiting for the right time to unleash it. And boy, did they pick the right opportunity, unleashed it big time, and that was also a big-time throw.
And that one, and even 60 yards in the air. Wow. So barely time to catch our breath. Here's 1st and 10 just outside the red zone. Mills now. And he's got Dorsett complete. And able to get him down, but he does reach the 5. 18 yards that time to push him up, 1st and goal.
Well, I can put my defensive cap on right now, and I know they're saying don't give up any big plays now. They've controlled this game throughout, and all they want to do is see it through to the end. I think they let their guard down a little bit with that last completion. Sometimes when you're trying not to give up bigger plays, you don't react as fast as you should on other throws.
1st and goal, and they got to be thinking a chance to get right back into this football game. Mills. Left side, it's Dorsett. And he is going to lose yardage here. It'll go as a loss on the play. Not what you need down here. It's going to be 2nd and goal. I don't know how well our microphones are picking it up for those of you at home, but Charles, you and I can hear it. A lot of groans right now coming from this crowd.
I don't know if we're picking up what's happening in the stadium or from the people who are supporting this team at home, because it's coming through loud and clear to you and me. This offense, they've been stuck in neutral much of the game, and on that last play, they actually went in reverse. I think this crowd would have liked neutral, don't you?
Yeah, neutral would have strongly been preferred. They'll take anything positive at this point. And he'll be stopped just outside the 5 at the 6. The 2nd down play, not much better than the first, just a gain of 1 there. Defensively, I think they can smell a stop. Ball right around the 5 here, brings up 3rd.
And I think what they've done is they put doubt in the minds of the offensive guys. What do we do? Because now you don't have a go-to play. Either side they pick, throwing it, running it, it won't be easy.
3rd and goal, Mills. And got his man. It's caught. Touchdown, Houston. Damian Pierce. He scored on the ground and through the air. And the Texans have got it back to a 2-score game here in the 4th. So a little bit of a letdown there defensively. I mean, look, you're still 2 scores to the good, CD, but things may be a little more uncomfortable than they had hoped.
Yeah, if you kept them out of the end zone there, this game's over. You've locked the door on them. Instead, it's still open a little bit, and they've got a puncher's chance.
Fairbairn good with the extra point, and they're able to cut this deficit down to 12. That time, 75-yard drive, 5 plays. And Damian Pierce capped things off with a touchdown grab. So after the touchdown, here's Fairbairn now to kick it away. No run back here, down to a knee, and this drive will start at the 25. And we spotlight Derrick Henry now. Thus far, he's been quite the dual threat. Touchdown on the ground, another through the air. He's just so versatile, isn't he?
He is, and he's exactly what I think we're looking for in the NFL now out of the running back position. Guys who can do everything running it, but also act as receivers. And I don't just mean, you know, the stopgap guys. I don't mean safety valve. I'm talking about big-time parts of it, whether they're going to split out, whether they're going to swing out of the backfield. Sometimes they act like a true wide receiver, and he's having that type of a game in this one.
It'll be interesting to see if he can keep it going both phases. Let's see. And he's taken down, but able to slip across the 35. Right off the bat, it's a first down to start the drive, 12 yards.
Partner, I like that they're staying aggressive on offense, because to me, this drive is what is known as a put-away drive. You score here, that might put this one to bed. I like the fact that they're playing with confidence and not playing with fear.
Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. Tannehill going to turn and give this to Henry. And good running there as he'll take this all the way up to midfield. The Titans get 14 yards there and move the chains as well.
No doubt those are the types of carries they're looking for here, Charles. The lead in the fourth quarter. This is when coaches that have a reliable running game, they breathe a little easier on the sideline.
Yeah, they love the idea that they can take the air out of the football at this point of the game. That means they're really counting on that offensive line, counting on the runners, taking care of the football. Because you're going to tell your quarterback, hey, no time to be a hero. We're not going to throw it here. Just eat up that clock. And if you have the ball, they can't score.
From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw.
Open man, Westbrook-Akine. And he'll be hauled down at about the 30-yard line. Well, normally you might say start running the football. You've got the lead here in the fourth quarter, but the way that they've passed it with such success, I don't know, maybe keep throwing it.
Yeah, I think you brought up something that goes against conventional wisdom, right? In this stage of the game, you would think you would switch to a running attack, but you're exactly right. They've thrown it so well throughout the game, and trusting this quarterback, I think you continue to do so.
On first down, it's Tannehill. And finding the tight end, Hooper.
And he'll be marked down right at the 20-yard line. The passing game continues to be their friend. Even with a stable lead here in the fourth, Charles, they're going back to that well.
Yeah, with their overall philosophy, you know that they trust their quarterback. He's been able to throw it well. They continue to throw these safe passes. Who can blame them?
On second down, here's Henry. And he will score. Touchdown, Titans. Derrick Henry taking it in from the 20.
And the Titans have pretty well put it away here in the fourth quarter. So that drive there, CD, a good response, and that might be the one that gets them to the finish line, a comfortable lead.
Yeah, and that's all about not letting the team back into a game because they just gave up a touchdown. It was back to a two-score game, and anything can happen in that situation. But instead, they came through with a really terrific drive right there that ended in 6. So you like to slam the door on teams. In this case, they're trying to lock it as well.
Extra point up and good by Bullock. And that will make this a 19-point game. That time, 75-yard drive, 5 plays. And Derrick Henry able to finish it off with a touchdown run. Now Bullock will send this one away after the touchdown.
On the return, here comes Smith out of the end zone. And they'll get him down right at the 25-yard line, so the same result had he opted for the touchback. Houston set to take over. Well, this game, it has had no shortage of offense. They've been able to put up a decent amount of points on this side, Charles. They just have not been able to keep pace with the other offense they're going against here.
Yeah, that's a good way of pointing things out because now it's not a total loss because, as you said, they've scored some points, so there's some plays they can build on, moments where the game plan actually worked. But overall, though, they were just out-personnel. They were going up against a team that's playing at an elite level.
On 1st and 10, Mills. Open man is Jordan, the tight end. And he's going to be marked down just inside the 35.
Defensively, I know they have the comfortable lead here in the fourth, but they do not want to give up big plays like that.
They want to finish strong. So oftentimes in this situation, you tighten up underneath in your coverage, and you bring your safeties back. They can pick up anything that leaks through. But in the meantime, upfield, you're making plays on the football.
So the big play changes the complexion of things. Here's 1st and 10 just outside the 30. Mills to throw it. His throw incomplete. Well, the trials and tribulations of being a quarterback in this league, it's tough. It's got to be wearing on him out there.
Well, he has been sacked a number of times. He had an interception, so I'm going to give him a skosh of credit for hanging in there and trying to make something happen, despite the amount of pressure he's been under this entire game.
From the 34, they'll come to the line on 2nd and 10. Looking to throw is Mills. Got his man complete over the middle. It's Howard. And he'll be marked down at about the 26-yard line. Well, that's always a good place to throw it just because he's one of the biggest targets not only on this team but in the National Football League.
And you and I both know the quarterbacks love these large-bodied tight ends, and why not? Nowadays, they're really wide receivers who are just taller and have a little bit more weight. These guys catch the football, make big plays downfield. In the old days, we wanted them to block. Now coaches want them to catch the football first.
First target, first catch, and a 1st down. A 3-score game here late. You can probably rule out the comeback, but certainly some kind of a moral victory to be had if they can get a few more points to close things out. And to that end, a nice pass play there to push things downfield.
Yeah, and we know in this league, a loss is a loss, and no one wants anything to count as a moral victory or, boy, something that feels a little bit cheap. But if they trim that lead down to just 2 scores, that's still a benefit to this squad.
3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down. Johnson, oh, it's poked free. Football's out. It's picked up by the Titans. And now off to the races down the right side. He's at the 40. The 20, 10, and they're going to bring this one back. A fumble return touchdown for the Titans. Oh, backbreaker. That'll drive the coach, the offensive coordinator, just crazy. You get it all the way down there in the red zone, can't capitalize. Instead, they go the other way on the fumble return for a touchdown.
How about the aggressiveness of the defense, though? They're not about to just fall on a fumble, are they? Scoop and score is their motto, and they just did it.
Now Bullock to add the extra point. And he's been a busy man, 5 for 5 now as he knocks another one through to extend the lead. So not only the cough up, but then the pickup on the other side, the scoop, and the score the other way, the fumble return for a touchdown. So here's the kickoff now as they'll get it again following that fumble return for a score. And Smith not going to bring it out, so it's a touchback. The football going back over now to the Houston Texans. Where we stand right now in the 4th quarter, this one pretty much out of reach. And, Charles, I know they're going to be disappointed about several things with this ball game, but the self-inflicted wounds, they've had several turnovers. You would have to think that's going to be something they're going to discuss heavily in the film session in the coming days.
You're absolutely right about that, partner, because they're going to have to sit in that film room and watch every error that they made and figure out how to not do it in the future. And mentally, I think a lot of the guys are already starting to think about, okay, how do we put this behind us and get better for the next time out? This, they'll use as motivation for the rest of the time that they play to hopefully never be in this type of situation again.
It'll go as a gain of 4, and it'll be 2nd down.
operating from the gun. Mills. That's caught by Howard. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. A fresh set of downs on a gain of 13 there for the Texans.
Well, this game was decided a while ago, and that completion there is going to artificially inflate his passing numbers. So right now, the only one really applauding probably his agent as he thinks about angling for a new contract.
Mills on first down. Swings this one out wide for Pierce. And they'll get him down on the other side of midfield.
I think the best offenses love to get the ball to their running backs in open space because they have the ability to make people miss, and they also have the ability to run over people. And if you do that throughout the game, after a while, they might just run through some of those tackles and go a long way.
Well, we saw him shed a nice tackle on that play. From just shy of midfield.
Mills can't get away, and down he goes. Loss of 10 as multiple defenders get to him.
Now that was a passer's nightmare. The front door totally shut down by the defense, so he kept going backwards, hoping to find another avenue of escape. It didn't exist.
So now after the sack, Mills and the Texans needing to navigate a 3rd and long.
On 3rd down, he'll drop to throw. Ogunbowale on the screen. And they will get this across midfield, but still well short of the first as he's dropped at the 46. 5 yards, not enough, and it'll be 4th down.
And that's a play that's not uncommon on 3rd and long because the offense is just hoping that somehow they can get a guy in space and follow some blockers downfield. Does a pretty nice job there getting a few yards, but he ends up getting stopped before he can get the first down.
Mills, 4th down, gotta have it.
He's got a man, complete.
And he is going to have a Texans first down as they manage to convert, and that'll keep the drive alive.
No reason not to try it there, and they do indeed convert on 4th. Just 2 minutes remaining here in the 4th quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So it's Texans football as we welcome you back. They've got a 1st and 10 as they search for a late score.
First down, Mills.
He finds his tight end, Howard. That's complete.
And the Texans are going to have a 1st and goal as the tackle is made at about the 5.
Well, this game is certainly pretty well over. They can go ahead and mark it in the win column. But as a defense, they don't want to get so soft now that everybody just throws the ball all over the place against them, gets big yardage, and puts points on the board. They have pride, too, on that side of the ball.
And they'll throw again. Here's Mills.
In trouble, and he'll go down back at the 12.
It's Jeffrey Simmons that time who got in to record the sack.
You can just see it in their body language. They're starting to see victory on the horizon now, and if it comes to fruition, they got to give a game ball to the front 7. Defensive line has taken charge and controlled this game. Face a challenge of stopping this opposing offense, and they've done so with ease.
They'll try again on 2nd and goal after going backwards to the 12. Another try after the first down sack.
Mills.
And he's got his man in stride, complete. A 10-yard completion, but still now facing 3rd and goal. That tight end position, it just seems to continue to evolve every year in the NFL.
Yeah, you're getting really terrific athletes. A lot of them maybe were wide receivers at one point. They continue to give you speed, great hands, and big bodies, which make them excellent targets for quarterbacks.
Meanwhile, on 3rd down, they take a shot at the end zone, but it's incomplete.
This has been a rough one, to put it mildly, for him. And after this one's done, you just feel like at the post-game press conference, this team's going to have a lot of questions and definitely not a lot of answers.
They'll run for it with Pierce.
And he's not going to get there. They tackle him at the 2. They gave it to him in search of his 3rd touchdown, but he's denied. And the Titans defense will celebrate the goal line stand. So they tried to go for it for pride, but it really wouldn't have mattered. This one, it was already determined.
No doubt about it. This one was over a while ago.
The Titans set and ready to go on offense. They've got to be feeling very comfortable and confident here with this lead in the football here in the 4th quarter, Charles. And I don't think that they need to score again, but it seems like this offense is just getting better as the game goes on. They've scored on their last 2 drives.
Certainly feels like a chance for them to continue to have some fun out there, doesn't it? Game's already decided, as you noted, so they can continue to play loose, break out some other concepts, maybe run a few trick plays, get other people involved. Heck, even go deep on one of these first snaps just because they can.
They'll start on the ground. It's Derrick Henry. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. He'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11. On this day, the ground has been his, but at least on that individual play, we just saw the defense finally with a win.
Yeah, they finally got one, and that's a win for them, but all game long, he's seen the holes, and they've been huge for him. Kind of like a baseball hitter in the zone. The ball seems bigger, and he's just whacking it. These guys, they got it going today.
So this one, a Tennessee Titan victory. And we talk so much about the turnover battle, determining who wins, who loses. This game, no exception. Error-free football, no turnovers at all, and they win it.
So this is one you don't have to convince your team that what you're saying is accurate. And you know what I'm talking about. Head coach always stands up in front of the team and says, guys, if we do this, this, and this, we'll win. And usually they say if we win the turnover battle, we'll win. Well, here's the proof right there. Win the turnover battle, go on to victory. Now the guys believe. You move on to the next lesson where you have to convince them this one is now planted.